Tonya Hofmann's fabulous. Tonya Hofmann's fabulous. Tonya Hofmann's fabulous, fabulous TV show.
Excited that you're here today. This is the Tonya Hofmann Fabulous TV show. I am so glad that you're joining us again. Wow, I've got an amazing, fabulous guest, Ms. Elizabeth Quintanilla. Oh, so you're going to get to find out all about her. And you know, we have been talking a lot about marketing, and she's talking about social media. So we're going to tell a little bit more about that. Also, oh my gosh, you know, every show, my guests give away something amazing at the end. So make sure you stick around to the end to get her incredible free offer. It will blow you away. I was like, are you sure you're going to give that away? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And then, you know, what we're looking at is tips. How to help you become more fabulous than you already are, okay? So one of the tips that people always ask is, Tonya, how can you go from being an introvert — yes, I know, I'm an introvert that couldn't talk one word to people, to being now on TV show in front of thousands speaking? And the answer to that is simple. It's called action. You have to take action in order for anything else to happen. And the only way to get over your fears is to do them. I know you want to have a simple, you know, can I just take a pill? No, it doesn't work that way. You have to go out there. You got to do it. You got to walk up to somebody that you're like, can I talk to Elizabeth? Can I talk to Tonya? Yes, we're just people. So get out of your shell. Start doing something fabulous, because people are waiting for you to change their life. So stop being selfish and go out there and change some lives. So today we're talking to Elizabeth. Yay! She is the vice chair. Yay! She is the vice chair on the Austin Community Technology and Telecommunications Commission. Woo. And she is one of my fabulous, fabulous, fabulous directors for the North Austin, Texas chapter of the Public Speakers Association. And you can find out more about her, book her to come speak, find me all on Public Speakers with an S, association.com. How are you doing, Elizabeth?
I'm doing fantastic today. I'm really happy it's Friday and it's 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock somewhere and it's right here, right now.
Yeah. And, you know, what's great is, you know, when we do these recordings, you know, people listen all the time. And a lot of times they listen to them over and over again, because when they hear, especially things that are new, like what you're about to tell them, and a lot of it seems like so second nature to us, but to a lot of people, it's fresh new information. It gives them that opportunity to absorb it. So don't forget to go back and listen to this recording over and over and over again. So Elizabeth, I know that you're like the gunslinger of marketing, and I love that. And I love that you're so out there. We were just at an event last night I was being nominated for CEO of the Year. Yay, me! And a cookie company beat me out. Okay, fine. But she's like all over the map, right? She's not just marketing on the web. She's marketing in person too. And I love that about you, that you're just so multitasking. Do you think everybody can be that multitasking?
Well, the thing is, it's like they have to be, because marketing just on Facebook is not effective by itself. You build your own little communities and people that know you, and they may just keep up with you on Facebook because you don't always see them every week, every month, sometimes not every year. There were some people that were there last night that I haven't seen in about a year and a half, because I was a member of one group, and I decided not to renew my membership because I wanted to pursue a slightly different direction. Because I used to be at IBM, and so when I was there at IBM, there was a certain amount of tech groups that you had to go around and hang out with, like IEEE. Right now, when I'm a director of the Public Speakers Association, a commissioner, and helping, market other people's businesses, like including a locksmith company over the summer, IEEE is a waste of my time. but I still like some of the people there. And there was a lot of people there last night that I hadn't seen in 2 years. And I wanted to make sure, I was like making it a point that they all come and met you because you were the reason I was there. And I wanted them to see you because you realize that a lot of the social media is just as much about networking and introductions as it is about making network and introductions in real life. Because I can tag the Tonya Hofmann and Public Speakers Association page in my post, but I do it in a positive manner to introduce you to other people and other people's networks and you do the same thing when you meet people in person.
Exactly. And did y'all hear you introduce other people? It's not just about you. It's such a unique opportunity. People just think it's all about them, and they don't realize how it's called social for a reason.
It is social for a reason. I mean, it was really been for me in this past year because I actually grew my business without blogging. And most people are dependent on blogging to grow a business. And it was actually an experiment. I will go back to blogging next year. I like blogging. I miss some aspects of it, but not just to write a silly post every day. Now, if you're a comedian, please write a silly post every day because I am looking for that.
Right.
But, it is like the thing is you have to match it. I look at social media as augmenting the other activities that you're doing.
Yes.
For instance, I build a newsletter list, and not everybody in the newsletter list wants to be part of the Facebook. And in fact, there's some people that just don't even want to be on Facebook at all, but they'll follow you on LinkedIn.
Right.
So, okay, so yes. Well, it's just what it is. It's like there's some people that just don't want to be on Facebook for personal reasons, but they are on LinkedIn. And if they're going to follow you as a company page, you've got to update the LinkedIn company page as well.
And what I've found too is a perfect example is when I was at a big event. It was a VIP event. Always pay extra for VIP events. You get to meet the most amazing people. Anyways, I was there, and this lady comes running. She's like, Tonya! And I'm like, oh, okay, crazy woman. Who are you? And she's like, I'm your friend. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, I'm your friend on Facebook. She felt like she already knew me, and we kind of went through that whole getting to know each other because she already felt like she already knew me. So it helps kind of warm the market up before you even meet people.
Absolutely. And you're actually creating your own personal brand and thought leadership platform without you realizing it. So I tell some people, like, there's a proposal I put in that I'm putting in for a company, and they're in the financial services. But I told them your personal accounts will now be G-rated so that unicorns, rainbows, and, teddy bears will want to come visit your page. And if you make a teddy bear sad, you're doing it wrong. Because
I love that.
Well, yes, because if you're building a personal brand, you don't want to be known unless that is what you want to be known for as a ranting, raving commentarian. And if you're a ranting, raving commentarian, project that. But most people, don't want that. And most people want to be known for their expertise. And so share your expertise, but show yourself as a person. I'm a little bit heavier than I care to, but I'm showing the fact that there's a spin bike behind me. And I regularly post my exercise routines just to show I'm a human being too.
Yes, I love that. And, it's about not just posting, but a little bit of more of the interactions. What is up with other people? I know, with a lady the other day, because only 10% of your posts on Facebook show up to your people. So only, if you've got 100 people on Facebook, only 10 of them is seeing your posts. I know, a shock to most people. And a lady had posted something, and she really felt hurt that I didn't see it and that I didn't respond to it. But it didn't show up on my feed.
At that point, if it's really that important, what I recommend for companies is first post your news on your Facebook page, share it as a person. But share it as a person, as a context. Because as a page to a page, I can tag Marketing Gunslingers to PSA. But I have to tag my post and, share my post to myself to tag you, to show how great, you are by showing it as a person, and in the same time, I'm sharing my Facebook fan page and tag the other page too. So when I share it on my wall, it shows both PSA and Marketing Gunslingers. And when I tag you in my note, then you get the notification. And if it was that important for yes, because if it was that important for me to capture your attention, I would go through all that extra trouble.
Right.
Now, if it's a normal post, then, just keep it on your fan page.
And don't you think that, if it's something you really want to make sure people see, just pay the $7 or whatever it is now for Facebook to promote it and make sure it goes to the entire list?
Yes, but just don't hit the promote button. Actually go in and check your audiences. So don't do just a general everybody. Look at it in the context of the groups that you're trying to attract. So for instance, in real estate, I'm trying to reach brokers, but not lenders, investors, but not mortgage companies, and see what the interests and likes are. And maybe, I don't know, call me wrong, but I don't know too many people under 25 who are ready to invest behind a real estate investor,
Right.
I'm not going to, if they're under the age of 25, I'm not going to spend my $7 on them.
Right. Well, and seems like, as soon as you get going in social media, something changes and you're like, and then there's a new social media platform, like Google Plus. You got to be on Google Plus, and it looks like a bunch of little boys made it, and it functions that way too.
Well, it did. Well, it functions that way and everything else. But it was like I think what it was is they wanted to buy another platform, and the other platform said no. So therefore, it's like, okay, we're going to make our platform. But the problem with Google Plus is, guess who owns Google Plus?
I know. So you have to figure out how to do these
Google.
things.
Yes. And I would actually say it's important for people to be on Google Plus. And I will tell you why. Both, you have to have a personal and a fan page as well, or a business page. Because guess what? There was one search that I did the other day, and it was an obtuse search. It was not your regular search. It was kind of like which weird plugin will do this function for WordPress. It was literally like a 10-word search because I was trying to be very focused. What showed up was other people's Google Plus posts of that page, not the page itself.
Wow.
So it was the other people sharing it on that obtuse search line. And I'm going, well, I'm going to click. If they were willing to share and hit a G plus button on that page, and if that's showing up in search, I'm going to take a look at it, even though that came up as 9 or 10, because my answers 4 and 5 obviously were not going to work. 1 and 2, of course, I'm opening.
Right.
But that caught my attention.
Wow.
Because they're indexing people's Google shares as part of the search results, and especially in the long tail search results. So it's going to be very hard to show up for shoes, but maybe if I'm showing up for Wizard of the Oz red ruby slipper Dorothy shoes, you may see a Google Plus share of an individual.
Nice. And I know it's always challenging, with the internet. And I think it's because, people still have the mindset of not the internet, right? Because even when I had my retail stores, that was in the 90s. So the internet wasn't even around. And by the time that I started being a wholesale sales rep, when I left the wholesale industry in 2003, out of 250 clients, 3 had an email address that they were using for their business.
Oh, my.
I know. And out of 250 people, 10 had a website. And so you see in 2003 to now how fast this world has really exploded.
Changed.
And so of course how can, it's hard for us to keep up with it because it seems like it's just exploded because it did.
Well, that's when you have to find your handy, trusty marketing geeks.
Yay!
So, we're all,
Yay!
because it's really it's probably easy to keep up with 50% of the changes, but not all the nuances.
Yes.
But,
Yes.
you need to have I would say your trusted extended team. The best way to describe myself as a marketing gunslinger is I'm a trusted advisor as part of your extended team. Like you don't hire me there to be there every day. You hire,
Right.
I come in to fix a problem and to tweak. All right. My apologies for the temporary disruption due to AT&T service. So, basically, they're installing cable fiber, so they're actually up in the street. They're working where the fiber goes. So, I believe where I was talking about having, trusted team advisors as part of your extended team, because, I'm going to ignore the door. So, literally, there's. I would say people can keep up with 50% of the information, and a good marketing geek can probably keep up with the next. I would say, on average, I figure I can stay up on top of about 90% of all of what's going on in digital marketing. But for instance, I had a post that I posted out there on local offers and optimizing for Google Local. Ignoring the door. Okay, I'm not ignoring the door. I'm just going to keep talking and move all of this around. So I will let, as I'm talking, I'll just take you with me on a tour of my house. So when we talk about this, it's basically, I have to have my trusted extended team myself for the next 10%.
Hi there.
Hi, I'm actually on a webinar right now.
On your what?
I'm on a webinar right now, but here's my friendly post office man.
Hi.
Hi.
I have a big box. I need a signature.
Okay, no problem. I will sign the signature here. But
that way you don't have to go to the post office. I have to get the post office to give you the box.
Print underneath.
Yeah. So basically, this person who was the expert in local offers and terms of service, like, I wouldn't actually call her a digital marketing expert as much as a legal expert, because she basically said that what that article who was written by, an established author was like, oh, because of this, you're actually violating the terms of service, because she actually reads those 36 pages of what you agree to.
Yeah.
And if you did exactly. And so when you actually read those 36 pages and find it in section 5 in paragraph D, that would have been, that marketing campaign would have violated this. Therefore, I'm going, okay, we'll never use that. Thank you for pointing that out. Thank you for pointing it out on my Facebook wall, because I just decided to share that article on cross-pollinating, both on my fan page as well as my personal.
Yes.
She commented, and it's a benefit to everybody who follows me, because then everybody who followed that post and follows her would have seen that she wrote on that to say, okay, don't do that.
Exactly.
And it was just one of those things. Yeah. So.
And that's what I find really with a lot of, because for myself and my husband, we're always such geeks about reading everything. And even we were going to use Vimeo one time, and it says plainly as day that you cannot use it for business. And here everyone's using it for business. And for me, I'd rather not go that direction, so that I make sure that what I do can stay up and everything is wonderful,
Yes, exactly. And so.
And also, the reality too, if you look at this, even this internet, platform that we're using, we're just real people. You got a real knock at the door. It always happens. I don't care what I'm doing. The door will ring, the phone will ring, something will happen. And we're people. And, even I was on a video the other day. I was a huge a TV kind of like this, an internet program. And my nose was itchy, and so I scratched it. And one lady emailed me and said, oh my gosh, I love that you scratched your nose. And I'm like, these are real people, these are real lives.
Well, that's really my postman who's delivering a package I had to sign for. But yeah, so you think about it though, because would you really want to spend your time to go driving over to the post office to pick a package?
Ugh, I hate that.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm going, it's like, okay, so he's here. That's good. I signed
Yeah,
for it. It's, it's
exactly.
fine.
Now, I know
And
you're giving a huge offer to our listeners today. What is that?
um, I'm giving away an hour and a half of free consulting.
Wow.
And that could be any form of the marketing strategy or tactics. My specialization seems to be more on the marketing operations. So I like tying the tactics down to cost per lead. And
Ah,
that's really, yeah, because we were going to talk about social ROI and I'm going, let's
right.
see what we're doing. And so now I can work with you and figure out, is what you're doing in marketing making sense?
Right.
Is that activity? Maybe it's time to, well, I'll be honest, frankly, buy another list.
Right? And I want to take you up on
Yeah.
this offer. So how do people get a hold of you to take you up on this offer?
The best way to take me up on this offer is to email me. And it's Elizabeth at marketinggunslingers, plural.com.
Say
And
it
I can
again, real slow
also,
for people.
Elizabeth at marketinggunslingers.com.
Awesome. Perfect. And you were going to say
Yeah, and
something else?
I'm basically going to just say I love following you. Learned a lot from you, actually, because believe it or not, I maybe never was truly an introvert, but I felt like I was probably a lot more like an IBM marketer, which meant that I was more geeky than marketing. And so
We
I
all
was
have our
here to say thank you.
specialties.
I know. Thank you for bringing out my fabulousness. I felt like I've become a little bit more fabulous in the past year and a half since I've known you.
Yay! Because,
Yay!
you wow me every time. I was telling Michael on the way home last night, my husband, that I am so honored to know you, and Candy Barone was at the event. Y'all are just amazing, and I love being around people. If they always say that the top 10 people that you hang around with the most are going to be just like you. So who are you hanging around? Hang around with people like Elizabeth, like me, have fun.
Yes, enjoy what you're doing.
Exactly.
Exactly. So, yeah, that was a wonderful event. Next year you're going to win that top CEO award. I know it.
Yay! Well, thank you so much,
Yay.
Elizabeth, for being on today. I really appreciate it. Everyone, please take her up on that offer. Oh my gosh, an hour and a half with Elizabeth Quintanilla. You have no idea how valuable that is. So take her up on that immediately so that you can, really start looking at what are you doing, because sometimes it's hard to see what you do is working or not working. And it's great to have different eyes on it. And, that's why you ask for help. And ladies, I know y'all are really bad about asking for help. So ask for help and get all this fabulous things going on. Thank y'all so much for listening in today. And please join us for our next incredible presentation, our next incredible guest. It's going to be Marian LaSalle. Oh my gosh, she's amazing. We got all these marketing people on all of a sudden. So enjoy. Watch it again. And thank you, Elizabeth, for being on today. I really appreciate your time.
No, I really appreciate you finding time for me today. So have a good one. And please listen to the next speaker. She is fabulous.
Yay!
So talk to you later.
Thanks,
Yay!
Elizabeth. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you next
Bye.
time.
Bye.